Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. This is your host, MagMongoSlade. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite from June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. Unlike so many other people, I am not going to make any Juneteenth jokes. I think it's a holiday worthy of being celebrated. I mean, it is what it is. So, happy Juneteenth to everybody. So, let's move on. We're going to try to get through this show as quickly as possible. This show is becoming almost like Collision, almost like Rampage, almost to the point of it being unwatchable. Almost. But first, we have to talk about AEW's new deal with Triller TV. So, AEW has made their back issues, pretty much all of their old pay-per-views, available on Triller TV for cover price, which is about $50 a piece. So if you want to watch old AEW pay-per-views, you have to go to Triller and pay per view. So it's not available, what some people have been spreading that misinformation, that it's available at a network-like capacity where you can just go and watch old pay-per-views. That is incorrect. You do actually have to pay for every pay-per-view that you want to watch. So if you miss some past ones, then you can obviously go catch up. But to me, the big picture is this. Clearly, if AEW has put their entire back catalog on Triller TV, it tells me that Warner Bros. Discovery was not interested in the AEW back catalog for their streaming service, which they should have been, because they have to be interested in more and more content. Now, because AEW never mentioned Triller at all on their broadcast, I would imagine that the conversations are going to continue. And maybe things will change. Maybe conversations will flip a little bit. And they'll end up pulling all this stuff from Triller and turning around and uploading it all onto Warner Bros. Discovery streaming service. But it ain't looking good. It don't look like it. It don't look like that's what's going to occur. So, if you're interested in old AEW pay-per-views, you have a way to watch them. I don't suggest paying $50 for any of them, but they're up there. In terms of other news and notes, nothing major. So, let's just get into the show. MJF defeated Roosh in a hard-hitting match where Roosh pretty much beat the hell out of MJF. I like this. I like MJF. I like Roosh. Roosh's thigh slap in the corner is pretty funny. The little kick he does after he runs across the ring, I don't understand why he still does that, but it was funny. MJF took a belly-to-belly off the ring apron to the floor in his return match. This is his comeback match, and he's doing belly-to-bellies on the floor. Why? Why exactly? I don't know. Anyway, MJF wins the match with, I think, a brainbuster, which I guess is his new finish. After the match, Brian Cage and a bunch of other bums showed up. Some dude I've seen before, I wrote his name down, is it Echechero? Announced that he's going to be the Forbidden Door opponent for MJF. Why? What do they have in common? Did they bump into each other in a hallway or something? I don't get it. I don't know. So, in any event, after Daniel Garcia beat up some Jobberello later, MJF had to save Danny Garcia because he got attacked by Brian Cage and a bunch of bums. And this is when this Echechero guy put him in what it was pretty much one of the most painful looking submission holds I've seen in a while, where he had his arm twisted up between Echechero's knees or whatever. He seemed to be stretching him from asshole to appetite, as Mystical would say. Then Will Ospreay had to save MJF. Then they did this really orchestrated and contrived showdown between MJF and Will Ospreay, which was a disaster. Will Ospreay then got challenged by the big dumb idiot Brian Cage, who has not won a match since Bush was in office, and now all of a sudden is getting a title match just because he yelled at Will Ospreay in the hallway. Get the fuck out of here. Get this Human Genome Project Get him the fuck out of here. Brian Cage sucks. He sucks ass. MJF, however, will be feuding with Hechishero for Forbidden Door. I don't get that. I mean, it's booking for the sickos. I'm not a sicko, man. I hate to put it to you that way, Tone, but I'm not a sicko, brother. I don't get this. I don't understand why you booking this thing this way. But whatever. Will Ospreay cut a promo on Swerve Strickland, who also cut a promo on him. They really didn't have anything to talk about except Will Ospreay talked about, you had a hit row, I had a hit list. I thought that was good, at least. Swerve mentions that, Will Ospreay, what is going to happen if he break Will Ospreay's leg? What if he break Will Ospreay's arm? Are the fans going to still love him? This whole thing kind of felt directionless, because then Will Ospreay went from talking about how he's the best in the world, and he beat all these people, to, what if I do the Tiger Driver 91, bruv? What if I do that, bruv? And Swerve is like, I'm the world champion. You ain't never made it in a pay-per-view. I'm a mogul. And I'm like, ugh. Just get these guys out of the ring. Shorten this thing up. There needs to be a little bit more direction. Just give them some more direction. This didn't make Swerve look good. It didn't really make Will Ospreay look good. They were just yelling random stuff at each other. And they're trying to make this match sound special. But maybe it's just me because I don't care. But I don't think they successfully made this thing look good. Oh yeah, I forgot that they mentioned Don Callis. So Swerve Strickland asks whether Don Callis is going to get involved. Will Ospreay say he doesn't need Don Callis. This offended the Don Callis family. I don't know why, but they're upset. Don Callis promised them that everything is okay, everything is all right, and then he went over and talked to Roosh and pretty much offered him an opportunity. So they're making moves and doing things. They're still leading to Don Callis is probably going to be the reason Will Ospreay doesn't win. He's likely going to come down to the ring, tell him to do the Tiger Driver 91. Will Ospreay's going to probably try to do it, fuck it up, and end up losing the match. They did some kind of silly-ass 8-man tag on this show that is just a cacophony of weird characters. Takeshita, Zack Sabre Jr., Roderick Strong, and Kyle Fletcher were defeated by Mark Briscoe, Dante Martin, Kyle O'Reilly, and Orange Cassidy. I'm not even going to pretend that I watched this. I didn't. They did a video for Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, where she thanked Stephanie Vaquer for sending her tag team partner for her to train with, because she got to do some cool lucha stuff. Okay. Fine. Whatever you say. The Young Bucks, they were present. They fought in an eliminator match against the Acclaimed and lost, which is, I guess, what everybody wanted. So now the Acclaimed are top contenders for the tag team titles. All right. Good job for the Acclaimed. This is one of those matches where 4 or 5 years ago, the crowd would have really been into it. But they were just kind of into it at the end at this point. I saw the Acclaim kicking out all kind of crazy moves, but then again, it's a Young Bucks match. What can you guess? The funny thing, of course, about this is Max Caster came out like he was going to rap, but it turns out that his mic was turned off, and then we cut camera to Okada, who says that I pushed the wrong button. Oh no, bitch. Which made me laugh. They treat him like he's a toddler. You know how it's always funny when small children say things that they shouldn't? That's kind of how it is with Okada, right? Like, it's funny because he's a Japanese guy. He's a very gentlemanly Japanese guy. But they got him saying bad words. So the Young Bucks are just basically like bad influences. They're like badass older cousins. You know? So the Acclaimed are likely going to get a tag team title match. No one cares. Samoa Joe and Hook. Samoa Joe was giving some advice to Hook. He started talking about cheese. I don't know what they were talking about. I tuned out. But he told Hook he wanted Hook to be extra. They weren't done beating up on Tony Nese and them, apparently. They had stormed their locker room. They weren't in there. Instead, they got left a note that wanted them to fight them in a 3-on-3 match where Samoa Joe says, "Y'all boys ready for this?" And I was like, who's the third person? And it turns out that Shibata was the third person, and that Shibata is the cameraman. Good Lord. Oh, have mercy. Jesus. Mina Shirakawa and Toni Storm, they cut a promo where Mina Shirakawa kind of went heel. I think she was trying to establish herself as the heel in this scenario. She told Mariah May to shut up, then said that Toni Storm in Stardom, she was a legend, and she came to AEW, became a star, then she became a champion, and she got soft and weak. And nobody wants to see her. Everybody wants to see Mina. Everybody wants Mina. Toni Storm threatened to slap her tits off because everything about Toni Storm has to do with tits. Then Toni didn't have much else to say, so she went straight into her shtick, which is essentially her catchphrase, and that was it. Saraya then marched to the ring, crashing the party, said she was sick of them, sick of all of them, and that she came with Harley Cameron, but she also did not come alone. And so Anna Jay apparently is going to join them. And so Anna Jay, Harley Cameron, and Saraya beat up Mina Shirakawa, Toni Storm, and Mariah May. This is going to lead into the Owen Hart Cup, where Saraya is going to wrestle Mariah May. I don't care about this. I'm not even going to pretend to care. The Rampage crew is now starting to bleed into Dynamite. Like, is the roster this depleted that now we've got, we brought Anna Jay back? There was a time where I wouldn't have minded Anna Jay being on the show, but now I'm kind of like, man, unless you got something to do with her, what is the point? Also, Toni Storm, she gets put in this scenario to get chopped up by Mina Shirakawa, who can barely speak English, but at least her English was understandable. Next, Owen Cup, Chris Statlander defeated Nyla Rose. Praise God. Then Willow Nightingale says that she's going to see Chris Statlander in the second round because she's going to fight Serena Deeb and win. So they're rushing this Statlander-Willow match and putting it in the tournament. Instead of really building it and doing something special with it, they're going to put it in the tournament. I don't remember the brackets for the girls. I just hope that Chris Statlander wins, because I can't think of anybody else who would win it and would make sense. But maybe since All In is a title match, Mariah May is going to win the tournament, because I know she's in it. So maybe Mariah May wins it and they force her to wrestle Toni Storm, and that's how we get to the Toni Storm-Mariah May match, I suppose. Private Party, they got interrupted by Chris Jericho, who told them that they got to wrestle luchadors, and when he used to wrestle luchadors, he would never go for power drivers, and they shouldn't go for power drivers either. This seemed completely random, not only out of nowhere, but is going to lead to nothing. And they're going to be wrestling again on Rampage. Or is it Collision? It doesn't matter. It's the same show as far as I'm concerned. The main event of this show was Pac defeating Claudio Castagnoli, a match I thought I was going to have fun with, and I mostly did. But at the same time, I was so tired from the rest of this garbage that I really wasn't paying too much attention. So that's it. That's AEW Dynamite. This show needs spark. This show needs something. It needs energy. Big energy. They're going to Europe later in August. They're going to be in Wales. And they're going to go do Dynamite, I believe, and Rampage in Wales right before All In. So you can thank WWE for setting that standard. So that's very nice. So the Europeans ought to create a very fun atmosphere for AEW wrestling. And they're the sickos, by the by. It's almost always the cage match crew. All these guys who keep up with the wins and losses on house shows. You're the sickos. This product is for you, the people. But this show is dreadful, bro. Like, it's literally getting worse, and the energy is getting worse, and I'm not feeling it. It doesn't make me as miserable as Collision, because Collision's on a Saturday night, and I feel like I'm wasting my Saturdays by watching it. So it ain't got that bad yet, but it ain't far off. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.